Knox Model C single-cylinder 8-horsepower Runabout 1903. Built in Springfield, Massachusetts from 1900 to 1914, the earliest production Knox three-wheelers were built in the Waltham Watch Company's factory. In this period Knox engines were air-cooled, and the fact that their cylinder barrels were studded with 2-inch pins, gave them a prickly appearance, causing some Knox owners to favor the nickname, Old Porcupine, for their cars. The engine was mounted midships in the chassis and was connected to a 2-speed manual planetary transmission, driving the rear wheels through chains. A tiller provided steering from the car's left side driving position. Marketed as the car that never drinks, contemporaneous advertising for this year's model was headline "Waterless Knox" and read its great popularity and success last year was due to the satisfactory working of its air-cooled engine and the simplicity, durability and strength of all parts. The 1903 car has been greatly improved in every detail. For this year, just one model was catalogued, the Model C, built on a slightly extended wheelbase over its predecessor of 72 inches. The clever, compact, runabout bodywork was retained, a design that provided the option of an additional 2 seats which folded out in front of the driver, a style frequently referred to as a stand-upon other contemporary cars of this era, and could arguably be the original 2+2. A particularly appealing aspect to Knox coachwork is a molding which follows the contour of the body sides. Knox identified their cars very simply by numbering the base of the porcupine cylinder head, and on this car the number is found to be 609. Of surviving examples, this places the car comfortably into the production sequence for 1903. We feel between the middle and end of the year as wire wheels would progress to wooden wheels during the calendar, this car being an example of the latter. Perhaps not surprisingly, the Springfield-built car was popular among those in its state and Knox marketed played to this. Accordingly, Porcupine 609 is reported by the seller to have been sold new to a wealthy Bostonian family. It is said that they would frequent their Sugar Hill summer home in New Hampshire each summer and that the trusty Knox ferried them on this 175-plus-mile journey, until roughly the time of the First World War, when they sold it to a hotel owner in Sugar Hill where it would remain for a considerable time. As for many early cars, its mechanicals outlived the usability and fashion of their looks, and the story goes that the next owner was a Henry Sabine, who lived in the next town north, Littleton, and since the car was somewhat outdated, he repurposed its chassis and running gear into a buzzsaw. It was not until the mid-1980s when the hotel stable was torn down to be developed and the Knox re-emerged. Understood to have been pretty much intact as a rolling chassis with engine at this time, its next long-term custodian was Fred Pritchard. Mr. Pritchard was responsible for restoring the car and returning it to the road. The long gontilar assembly was replaced with a period unit acquired from noted collector and enthusiast Coburn Benson. Some additional parts came from another '03 find in Maryland. Fortunately, there are a handful of survivors of these cars and Pritchard was therefore able to accurately copy the very distinctive coachwork with its side sweep molding, the Wells Auto Museum in Maine assisting with this. The Knox stands today as testament to the quality of Mr. Pritchard's restoration, and he would continue to use and maintain the car into this decade. Within the last 4 years, he decided to freshen his own work, the car being repainted in 2019 and a new top added just last year. Presenting handsomely, it is accompanied with numerous additional parts including a flywheel, camshaft and conrods, cylinder barrel and crankshaft. With the cleverly designed stand-up coachwork, these Knox cars offer 2 or 4-seater touring cars for all manner of events, including those of the Horseless Carriage Club, and also the Bonhams-supported Dorton Veteran Car Tour, this April. Importantly, it has also recently been inspected by 2 UK Veteran Car Club committee members and a full application completed for their respected dating process, which would potentially add the wonderful opportunity for it to be an entry on the famed London to Brighton Veteran Car Run in the UK.